This is Infotainment. Ukamva sasi chonchikulira ndiye kuti umaziwa kuti nkhani za msanguluso zabwera. Tikuzeni kuti kunali chani nkhani za msanguluso komanso kukhaleso chani nkhani za msanguluso. And you're with me, Sam Banda Jr. In this edition, Hallmark Group, which has just rebranded from Hallmark Creations to Hallmark Group, dangles the poetry competition, actually coming up with a 1 million package, which will see poets from different categories walking away with cash prizes. We've got lots more to tell you on that. And again, we speak to renowned singer and guitarist Eric Paliani, who recently had a jazz experience in Blantyre, sharing the stage with Makluza Mambala. We speak to him to find out what he's doing at the moment, as well as new projects. And again, we also look at Sand Music Festival coming out, announcing the first headliner. That's Mr. P, a member of the disbanded P Square, who will be performing at the Sand Music Festival on the first day. We've got lots more to tell you on that. All you can do is stay right there as I bring you more in Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment. Now, we begin our program with news that organizers of the Sand Music Festival, who recently came out to say that this year's festival will take place at Sunbelt in Kopola in Mangochi, have announced the first headliner of the festival, that on the very first day, that's on a Friday, on October 1, because the festival will take place from October 1 to 3 at Sunbelt in Kopola in Mangochi. They've announced that Mr. P of the disbanded P Square will be the headliner of the first day, that's on a Friday, and then they'll announce the headliner of the second day as well as the third day. We spoke to lead coordinator, that's Ngwachi Muhango, who tells us more about the development.
What we needed to share today, most importantly, was that we needed to emphasize that we're going to do digital ticketing, first of all. I think we wanted everybody to understand, and that we issued communication a couple of days ago that our tickets will be 30,000 airport tickets and 35,000 regular tickets. But both these are digital tickets. So we're going 100% digital, and we encourage people to plan and buy tickets in advance, because we would not like to sell tickets even at the gate. We just want people to come, get processed, and they're going to the festival. Further to that, I think we needed to emphasize and clarify a few issues in regards to how we think, from the feedback that we've gotten from people, that we have become so big in such a way that the standards are so high. So we have reformatted a little bit on how we treat what everybody wants to call headlining artists. For us, I think as a festival, our stand is that we create an environment for people to enjoy the festival without having to tie a festival to a particular name or artist, but people will always get excited to hear, okay, so on a Friday, who is the headlining artist? And most of these actually will be international artists. So today we also had to unveil one of our headliners for Friday. Emphasis is for Friday. As you know, that in that sense, then we would be unveiling our headliner for Saturday, and so will we do for Sunday. So today also we were excited to announce that Mr. P of the famous P Square from Nigeria will be our Friday headliner for Sun Music Festival. But I know we are experiencing the third wave right now, and as a festival, our point is that we believe in science as well, just like everybody else. We believe in science, and we believe in the vaccine. We also believe that by that time, when the festival will be happening, probably there will be zero infections and zero deaths. But we also encourage that the government is bringing in vaccines. We also want to call for the government to even bring more vaccines. We also want to encourage the people that love to come to Sun Festival. Encourage is the word, that they should get their jobs, because we know that through the vaccine you can claim your freedom.
That's Mwachi Peter Muhango, lead coordinator from the Sun Music Festival, telling us more about the developments of what will happen basically from October 1 to 3. Last year, the festival was disrupted by rains and people were disappointed. And they also had headliners, international headliners in Tanzania's Diamond as well as South Africa's Master KG. Remember, you're watching Infotainment, a basket for arts and entertainment, and my name is Sam Banda Jr. Now, we move from music or events, we go on to books. Books are very key in terms of giving us knowledge. Now, a Christian school based in Napeli, Branta, is in a drive where it is promoting reading culture, and they've decided to take up a drive of donating books to community day secondary schools, and they've basically moved forward in terms of donating different books to community day secondary schools. And one of the schools which has benefited so far is St. Pius Community Day Secondary School. That's where they donated some books, and we were there as Infotainment, and we spoke to the principal of God's Grace Academy, that's Temu Ambale, to tell us more about the idea behind this drive, as well as the head teacher of St. Pius Community Day Secondary School, that's Louis Zulu. Let's take a look.
We know that most of the community day secondary schools lack a lot of resources, including books, and that affects the education of young men and women that are in our community day secondary schools. And God's Grace Academy is just located in New Napeli, and we felt that it was good to reach out to our neighbors within the community. And St. Pius is one of the schools within our reach. And last time we donated to Chimankunda Community Day Secondary School, and we also felt it would be very good to donate these books to St. Pius Community Day Secondary School as well. In fact, we want to reach to as many community day secondary schools as possible, especially within Atlanta. And the main reason is to teach our students to be more responsible, to be socially responsible, because you know responsibility starts when you are young. We don't expect our learners to grow up and become responsible overnight. This has to start whilst they are young, and therefore they need to learn how to share the little that they have. So the school, together with students, have managed to source these books from B-Books, and they are also donating these books to others that are in need or that are less privileged to have such resources. Well, I think the only comment I can add is that it's very important that for the national agenda that we have now to develop this nation to be a good nation for all of us, it's also important that the haves should learn to share with those who don't have. Because there is no way we can have a better Malawi if people are selfish. And as schools, we better learn to teach these values in the young ones that we have, so that they can learn to share, they can learn to be responsible, to be accountable, and that will help our nation to become a better country for all of us.
This is a very welcome development, because as a school, we we say there's no book that is useless. Every book that has been written and published is a useful book. And this one, the bigger community secondary school, I can tell you that our library is very poor. We have very few books. So this is a very timely donation for a student in a services like ours. Books are very useful to both pupils and teachers as well, because we take them as the source, the main source of information. All the teaching that is taking place in schools all over the world is taken from the main sources, the books. So we know that, of course, the internet can give us information as well, we can get information from other people as well, but books remain a very useful point of reference.
Yeah, that's God's Grace Academy, all the way from Naperi in Branta, making a donation to St. Pius Community Day Secondary School in Blanta. Now we're shifting from the world of writing, we're talking of books. Now we go on to poetry. And this time around, we're talking about a company known as Hallmark Group. They've rebranded, they were known as Hallmark Creations, but they've clocked 8 years. So they would want to celebrate the 8 years with different activities. And one of the activities is that they've done a competition. And this competition will reward poets in 3 categories. There is Mera, which is targeting younger ones, and then there's a teens category, and also they have Amai Malawi, which basically targets women. And we'll see different winners going away with 250,000 kwacha, 100,000 kwacha. So we caught up with that's the managing director of Hallmark Creation, that's Gift Gondwe, as well as one of the representatives from the Poetry Association of Malawi, that's Paul Sezi, to tell us more about the development. And this is how they spoke to us.
The competition is about bringing and rewarding and awarding talent in the country. Hallmark is commemorating 8 years of existence in the country. Being Malawi's #1 printing and general supply company, we want to partner with the talent and unearth the raw talent that is not able to come to at a bigger scene or a bigger level to come and compete and showcase their skill. So the competition, that's why we've divided this competition into 3 categories. We're looking at the youth, we're looking at the teenagers, and we're looking at those people who have the experience or the older poets. So we're giving talent at every level of our clients or our people in Malawi. Poetry is part of what we do, part of our creations. We are into printing and branding. So poetry, and we also do publishing. So to come to Malawians to announce our arrival as a publishing house, that we are a publishing house, we need to start with, we thought it right to start with the Poetry Association of Malawi, whose most of their works are not published and are not available in readable books. So we want to start with them, as we are reaching out to a lot of writers in the country. So we thought, let's look at poetry. And are you aware, or maybe you may know, poetry in the country is not properly sponsored or properly recognized. The people are struggling. But these are the people that make us happy. They give us, when we are down, they uplift our lives. So it's important that we partner with the people that make us happy.
As a poet and as a member of different poetry organizations in Malawi, I feel like this is a welcome development because as you heard from the words from the MD for Hallmark, he says poetry is not well recognized in Malawi, like well rewarded in Malawi. So this is an ideal situation that we as poets must grasp with both hands. It's not been easy. Poets have struggled, especially in light with the COVID situations in Malawi. Poets have not been going out to do shows. They haven't been able to sell their stuff. They haven't been able to maybe get hired by organizations because they make their money when they get hired out there. to perform in different events. So that has actually cut the income for most poets, including other artists out there. So as an organization, as Poets Association of Malawi, we do welcome this gesture from Hallmark Group, and we want to encourage other companies out there to emulate this good example. I would also want to particularly thank Hallmark Group for considering the publishing part of the poems.
They believe that relying on history alone for our visibility isn't enough. So Paradise Papa display their massive pride as they express the dysfunction of our country.
Yeah, that's that about Hallmark poetry competition coming up, and we do hope poets who go or who basically come out and compete in that competition. Now we go back to music, and this time around we are talking about renowned singer and guitarist Eric Paliani. He has starred with lots and lots of international artists, including Hugh Masekela. So recently he was in Blantyre. He had a jazz experience performing at Mibawa, where he shared the stage with youthful McLuther Mambala. We caught up with him just to share what he's doing at the moment and basically what has kept him busy, as well as more about the jazz experience which he had at Mibawa. Let's hear from Eric Paliani.
Bangali Amawo Chidu Bakuli La Po Iriduku Skele Jiga Mama.
Things are okay, you know. I think for everyone it's been tricky past 2 years, but I think every cycle of life also creates new opportunities. So yeah, I mean, the gigging wise has been a bit tricky because I mean you can go beyond certain numbers, but that was also created a lot of partnerships. Like we've been playing a lot of things through online, especially people that are using this time to record. And like internet also these days, it can carry a bit more data, so we're able to send each other. Like I can play guitar here and send it to SA or wherever that people think Paliani is still relevant. It's been mostly working and I mean rebranding and looking at things from a different angle as well, you know. But also I think yeah, I mean it's every situation needs a person to look at it from a different point. Yeah, so I decided to stay. I was about to go, before the lockdown started, I was about to go to Zambia for a long trip, and I was booked for the Joy of Jazz SA, and I think I was going to do a Cape Town gig, but all that is postponed. So then I was like, man, why can't we build the local base while we're waiting for other things to open up as well? Definitely. I mean, I think, and I'll be real, I mean, when I came, I was like, in Gingy Music Academy, but I think in Malawi we don't have the culture yet of following information, and I'm getting old, so I was like, you know, if the youngsters are not following it, then I just follow them, maybe perhaps. But the ideal way of doing it really is to, you know, come out of the city for a while, you know, spend time with yourself and learn it. So I think what it did, it kind of made jazz too intellectual, you know, that old people's style. So I mean, but historically jazz is about fusion. Hip hop itself, you know, is a branch of jazz, and I think naturally it's better to start slowly, you know, passing over the most of the experience that I have with the youngsters, and there's a lot of the youngsters on the ground that when I look at them, I'm like, hey, these are like my younger brothers, but they're looking for the same things I looked for when I was in Blantyre years back. But I think with the youngsters now, I can see what they're looking for, and I kind of have answers of certain things. with me, I had to leave because I didn't have anyone to guide me, or a group of people. There would be one or two, but not a group of people that really had an experience of playing outside and coming back home to share what they learned.
And they are telling us more about the experience, the jazz experience. But moving on, musician Donex Mover, a gospel musician all the way from Karonga, has been doing quite a number of initiatives aimed at helping out the community where he lives, and he's been organizing different concerts in terms of fundraising for those projects. So we caught up with Donex Mover just to share more details on the projects he's working on and why he decided to embark on such projects. We hear from Donex Mover.
choyambirira nene kuti being oimba I'm an agent for change. Then nachiganiza kunena kuti no ndinachitengaso mawu a Mulungu kunena kuti ku Mateyu 25:36 kuli mawu kuti no nali kundende nali kuchipatala simunabwere kudzandiona andikafunsa Mbuye kuti no munali kundende anakuti anthu aja ankadwala aja. So I thought kuti no kukhala oimba ndikoza kumapangaso zinthu zina zokuti zikuzo kuthandizira amene anthu ali vulnerable. So we nangochiyamba kuna kuti I think ine ministry yanga tisangoimba chabe komano ndikhale kuna kuti ndikupanga kuchina chake chokuti no anthu ena kana anthu odwala kanthu amene akuoneka kuno kuti no alibe china chonse chikuzo kuwathandiza tipakepo kenaka kuti kakuzo kuwathandiza. Ma projects ndakhala ndikupanga involve the community like kukalonga. I've been using some other people kunena kuti no tikuza kuthandiza apa and they have been supportive. Akhala kupereka cement wawo moti panopa tamanga matoilet 3 kukalonga prison komanso kupanga extend cell kuti na anthu anzathu aja azikhala bwinobwino chifukwa kuselo anthu ena amakunyalanyaza kwambiri kuti osathandizako malo amene aja ndiyoti noti ena tizithandizako kwambiri because kumene kuja sikuti kapena kuli zinyama iya kuli anthu ngati ife anthu ena ngokuti msana lakwe is like mistaken identity komana kumene kuja andafuna chithandizo chathu. Ubwino wake ndokuti ngati ya kukalonga titapanga the community supported it very much and anabwera maunyinji kupanga donate ena mpaka tinapeza matumba 16 ya cement malata 10 komanso I'm having this one ya ku planta ya ku Mibawa matipapo. So imweno cholinga chake nchokuti no tipeze 50% of the proceeds should go towards the renovation of police unit ku Eswazini komweno pakali pano kulibe polisi kutanthauza kuti anthu akamapanga ma business yawo akupanga mwamantha chifukwa kulibe anthu amene akhoza kupanga enforce the law. So ntakonzekera kuna kuti Sunday anthu ena akamaonera ma TV ena they can be even donating kuna kuti ineyo ndikuthandiza pomwe kuti ndikugula music ya Donex Mover ndikuthandiza pomwe kuti cholinga chokuti ndalamayo ithandize utumiki komanso ithandize Eswazini police unit. Chonjezera chabe nchokuti ndikupempha kwa amalawi onse kwa ine ndekha ngati an artist ndayesetsa kunena kuti ndikhale ndi zonsezi chomwe ndingofuna chabe ndi helping hand kugwira dzanja masomphenya timakhala nawo amafa ukakhala kuti palibe support. Ine ndikupempha support from all Malawians, from all different people kuna kuti no andigwire dzanja kuna kuti zomwe tikupangazi zikhale kuna kuti no zikwaniritsidwe. Zikakwaniritsidwa then ndisangalala kwambiri ngati oimba tsopano.
Yeah, that's Donex Mover sharing more about the projects he is working on. On that note, we've come to the very end of Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment. I hope you've enjoyed a package of what I brought unto you into this program, Infotainment, as well as on TTV. I'll leave you with an interview we had with singer Eunice Kadzua Muhango. She has gone solo and she has released 2 songs which are currently on the market, Uchindere as well as Moto. My name is Sam Banda Jr. Keep on watching Infotainment as well as TTV. I'm out of here. Ciao.
Yes, I have decided to become solo and work extra hard on myself because I've been in the industry doing copyright for quite some time. So I thought it was time for me to start anew. Yeah, I mean, it's also good that it's not something new. Being in the industry has also helped me to see how to work on other issues. So like when it comes to sound and everything, I'm quite game. And when it comes to the material itself, I'm actually pushing really hard. Yes, actually, we're working slowly but surely it will come out. My wish is for this year, but with God's guidance, we will see how far that will take us. But it is truly an album that I've been working on. Ushindere is a song where you're telling this prodigal son or daughter that they should listen to people's advices, whether it's your mother or father or uncle or anyone just giving you advice. And if you don't listen, eventually those things do come back to bite you. So that's Uchindere. And Moto is a song where you're telling this person to never give up on life, but fight hard, push hard, hustle hard, even when times are hard. You don't need to, you don't need to end your life just because you're facing issues or you're facing troubles, but you need to fight hard and find a way to pass through that. Yes, I have my own band now. It's Eunice and Kwatu Band. We do perform in corporate shows most of the times. It's not like the times that I was playing in the clubs. No, I am doing all I can to bring out good music, because being in this copyright industry, it has also helped me grow and listen and have that good ear to say this is good material, this is not. So that has also given me a push. It has given me a chance to understand more and say what I should do should be more better or equally better than all those things that I was performing on.